Thank you to the World Government Summit, to His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, and His Excellency Dr. Thani Al-Zayoubi for inviting me here to speak to you today. There are many differences among us, but what's more important is what we have in common. We are animals. Human animals. Humans have unique attributes. We make tools. We have big brains that we can do good things with. But as well, we are the only member of the animal kingdom whose behavior, whose hubris can destroy the planet. We are not above nature. We are a part of nature. If we can develop the political will, the conscience, the commitment to save them, healthy, intact, natural systems will provide the air we breathe, the fresh water we drink and use to grow our food, the healthy soils and pollinators our crops require, and the bounty of the oceans. But all these free services of nature are threatened, all of them, by what we're doing to our planet, by climate change. You would think that the world would feel compelled to take action, meaningful action, by what the consensus of science tells us about the threat of climate change. But around the world, elements of leadership, including in my own country, to preserve their stake in the status quo, deny or denigrate science. They are on the wrong side of history. Sound science must guide us. To ask governments, businesses, communities to act, to change behavior, to invest in the environment and our future, we need science. Enlightened modern conservation started on land. We've created national parks, beautiful places to help people connect with nature. We've saved forests that capture and store carbon from greenhouse gas emissions. We've developed good science, and we've made good progress in protection of species, in saving critical biodiversity, fresh water and food security, in human health. We've done a lot, but we need to do much, much more. When it comes to oceans, the oceans that cover 71% of the planet, our efforts have been woefully inadequate. Our oceans capture carbon from the atmosphere. Their great depth and volume trap heat and moderate our climate. Plankton that drift in the ocean, seagrass beds, and mangroves like you see off the coast of the UAE, coral, and even fish capture carbon. Mangroves capture up to 10 times more carbon than tropical forests. Just by ending the destruction of existing mangroves, we can reduce global carbon emissions by 6%, the equivalent of France or the United Kingdom going carbon neutral. More than 3 billion people survive on fish. Half of all wild-caught fish come from subsistence fishing by people who rely on fishing as their only available source of protein. Much of our planet's populations are clustered near coastlines. 75% of our biggest cities are on the ocean's coastline. New York, Hong Kong, Los Angeles, Dubai, Abu Dhabi. As our oceans warm, glacial ice melt and expansion drive sea levels higher, endangering these cities, threatening their populations, their economies. Some island nations will cease to exist. Where will their people go? As global warming increases ocean's temperature, more water vapor is released into the atmosphere, fueling weather that's more violent than we've ever seen and influencing weather patterns globally that are unpredictable and unprecedented. And we've learned that the ocean is actually warming 40% faster than we anticipated. The problems are global. The solutions must be global. We need to better understand the complexities of our ocean, to invest more in science, to adopt behaviors that will allow our ocean to better serve us. Marine protected areas are part of the solution. They provide safe havens where fish stocks can recover, reproduce, and repopulate global waters. Good fisheries management allow us to rely on the bounty of the oceans and feed our planet. Protecting and restoring coral reefs, mangroves, and seagrasses allows carbon to be absorbed and trapped and creates a coastline resilient to storms and flooding. It's also beautiful. Look at the healthy mangrove forests that have been wisely protected in the UAE. All of us, whether rich or poor, powerful or powerless, will suffer the effects of climate change and ecosystem destruction. We are faced with what I believe is the greatest moral crisis of our time. That those least responsible for nature's destruction will suffer the greatest consequences. The earth and the seas are the legacy we leave our children. In 10 years, it may be too late. There's a lot of power. There's a lot of intelligence in this room. Let's make ourselves responsible for what we know. What we do today determines our ability to provide a future, a legacy for our countries, our communities, our families, for children. If we are to survive on this planet, the only home any of us are ever going to know, for our security, for our future, for our climate, we need nature now, more than ever, because nature doesn't need people. People need nature. Let's work together. Let's roll up our sleeves. Let's get this thing done. Thank you.